Hello, welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 29. I'm your host, Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
Good. I'm back from vacation.
Yeah. Nice vacation time. Got some time
Feel
off.
super relaxed.
Yeah.
Promised
Nice.
Murphy I was going to read a bunch of comic books. Read 0 comic books.
Oh, no.
But I did read a Kenobi novel, which we'll talk about later, which was pretty incredible. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, so completely disconnected, completely relaxed. Felt great. Now I'm back, ready to jump back on the train.
Nice.
I also noticed we got some more subscribers while I was gone. So thank you, new subscribers. Hopefully you're listening to the podcast. And we are quickly approaching our 200 subs. So as we do that, which might be this week, probably either this week or next week, we'll hit 200 subs and we will give away a comic book, The King in Black #1, CGC graded 9.8, signed by Ryan Stegman and Donnie Cates. A very cool comic. All you have to do is comment on the top 5 comics of the week that we do. Post your top pick for that week. You can gain multiple entries by doing multiple weeks and live in the United States, so we can mail it to you at in a reasonable way. And yeah, so that's what will happen when we hit 200 subs. But besides that, did you play anything? I played one game of Flesh and Blood this week.
Yeah. I played a little bit on TTS. I didn't play anything in person.
How'd it go?
And I played a bunch of Felt Table to practice with a couple different deck techs. I actually kind of got into that for a minute.
Oh, it's super fun. I get lost in that, trying to find different combos and lines.
Yeah, it's good for exploration and kind of figuring out, like, does this combo work? Do you actually have a chance to get this off or that off? But it's not very good for actual, like, hard practice because you'll end up with bad habits that don't work in real life. That's what I found when
absolutely.
when I first got into it, I was like, oh, okay, I'm really good. I beat the robot every time. And then I went and took the same tactics to the shop and just got, like, wiped completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't teach you how to play against
No.
humans. It does teach you a little bit about your own deck tech. So that's the focus and how you should think about it. And oh my god, the robot. No offense to them because it's an awesome piece of software, but the robot AI for it is just terrible. They make so many bad decisions, and I don't know how you would make it better. I'm not advanced enough. I'm sure there is a way to make it better, but to keep up with the metas shifting and stuff, that would be hard to keep the AI like cognizant of current play lines and strategies and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would do that. It's probably not possible or not very easy, but yeah, he was playing a ruptured card that had a go again trigger. No, it wasn't. It was a go again trigger based on playing another red card in the line, and that was his first card he played on turn 1. I'm like, there's no way that's the move. There's 0% chance that is the card a human would play.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so you don't have go again? I guess okay. Or maybe it was turn 2, whatever it was. It was very early on, and I'm like, okay, the AI really doesn't know how to prioritize which card to play. So
no,
which is critical for Fi, right? Like,
absolutely.
The ordering is everything, and it makes the power so much higher. So, anyways, I could beat the AI Fi, but the AI Fi is very bad at it. Maybe only 2 or 3 times did it ever actually go off in a way that felt like Fi, where it has like 5 or 6 cards on the chain.
Oh, yeah.
Which I feel like is every turn against a human.
Right. No, you can't judge how your deck's going to do. It just helps you. It helps you practice figuring out the lines and figuring out what to do with different hands.
Yeah, what's critical, what's passable, what you can block with and lose, and what you really should hold on to or try to combo out or whatever. So, yeah, very fun, very interesting. Got to play a couple different decks. I finally did play the Muscle Mage Icelander. Tried that out. It is, for me, the way I was playing it. I built these decks myself because I finally got to the point where I'm like, okay, I've played enough different like decks that are out there. I'm going to build my own with my own game plan. And the first one, which is like the stale, like the freeze up until you can blow up situation.
Right.
Solid. I like it. I'm a fan. I know why every card's in there. I like how my cards are in there. I like just basically, I feel very solid with that one. And I'll probably end up building that and taking it to the shop if I'm going to do any Icelander CC, which would be sad if I didn't because I love Icelander.
You have to.
I will.
Next week. It's next week.
Yeah, it is. But the muscle mage, man, either I am just terrible at it or whatever. I don't know. But that one was like 50-50 whether I won or not against Fi. AI Fi. So really bad Fi.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's terrible. So I think it may be my mindset, because a lot of people swear up and down that that's like the best way to play IC.
I think it's just because it messes with the human player. Like it messes, like they think about all those options. The computer's just like, meh.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see. I know some people at our shop like Muscle Mage, so we'll see how that archetype plays out. It'll be really fun to do the mirror match against a Muscle Mage.
Yeah.
So that was it for me. Didn't play much else.
Mine was classic battles, showing my brother and my mom how to play Flesh and Blood.
How'd that go?
It went. My mom tried. She did. She did a good job. Jillian was piloting the deck, and then my brother was on my side, and my mom was on her side. And then my mom would ask a bunch of questions. My brother was just kind of like, okay, sure. Not really interested. But yeah, but my mom tried. It was fun.
Not for everyone.
No. And it is very, like, I think it's a pretty simple game to figure out if you've played other card games. But if you're completely new to card games, I feel like it can be daunting in itself.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Even with the classic battles, which are kind of simplified decks.
Yeah.
I 1000% agree. Yeah. Like when I was playing with my sister, who has played a lot of Magic, she ended up picking it up pretty solidly by like game 2.
Yeah, right.
But there was continual like adjustment and remembering. The hardest part for her was the order that you draw at the end. That kept messing her up.
Yeah.
She was like, what? No, I keep forgetting that happens, because she was planning for not having anything in hand.
Right.
Thinking like Magic, where it's like you want to hold on to your hand or something.
Oh, right. So yeah. That's a big difference.
Approach to it, first, but you got over it.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Trying to think. No, I think that's it.
Didn't we play a game while you were gone?
We did. Did I play Briar? Did I play?
Oh, that's right. I was trying that Briar deck, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were trying Briar. I was playing Fi. That didn't go great.
That's right. No, it didn't. But I mean, it was fine. Like, there's definitely a deck there. This was the one that won the 10K competition.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was Jersey. I can't remember exactly where that was, but I didn't have a deck tech guide or anything, so I wasn't really sure how I was supposed to play. So I was kind of figuring it out as we went, and it was interesting. Like, I can see why people like it. It's just not my speed. I'm not that. It was a Minnowism, and what was the other thing? There's a channel Force of Nature deck sort of thing, and it was fine. I was like, I don't like Briar since the bans. I'll be honest.
You don't like Earth. You don't like good Briar. You don't like good Briar.
I don't like Earth Briar. Yeah, I only like the Lightning Briar back in the day.
The Cheerio Briar. The zero cost.
Yeah, it was so fun. It was
you like the OG Fi.
Yeah, exactly. OG Fi. It was Fi before Fi existed. Yeah, essentially. She was so fun. It's so hard to stop because.
I didn't like that, which I find interesting.
Yeah, because you like Fi instead, which is just as bad in a different way.
I know. Well, maybe it was because you were playing Briar that I never dipped into that during that time, because we were trying to play different things.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
Anyways. So I just had this inherent disdain for it.
Yeah,
but now that I got to try it, and I was just like, I love it.
This, I'm gonna be like, Fi is horrible, and I hate you all for playing. He seems to be doing well though, so
yeah, absolutely.
Meta.
Yeah, I'm still Team Fi. I got in terms of pickups, I got my extended art Phoenix form, which is gorgeous, from Red Zone Rogue, which was super exciting. And he sent one of his holographic cards for, I think he's building TCG himself, and it's the art from the playmat that he uses all the time, the Lady with a Dragon.
Neat.
And he sent them in. One was in his Red Zone Rogue Dragon Shield sleeve, which is really, really cool. It's like kind of like a deck of cards, but has like a golden outline of a female warrior on both sides. And then another one that says "Fight Me," I think. Where was it? Yeah, "Face Me," and it just has this anime girl on it with this card. Seems holding like up a card.
Pretty chill dude.
But yeah, those are pretty cool. I'll probably post those on Twitter.
I picked up some of the missing pieces for my cold foil binder. Having them all in a binder and the blank spots makes me want to go and find them.
I gotta fill the blank spots, John.
Yeah, it's real bad. So
that's why I don't leave those black spots.
Yeah. No, I have to. I want to have it in order, and I don't want to have to remove all of them. And,
I know. I gotcha.
Can't do it. Although I did find out I screwed up because the way I was figuring out the order is I go on like TCG Player and sort, and then try to go with equipment and that sort of stuff. But that leaves out this stupid Fable, which is always 0, 0, 0. And I was like, no. When I realized that, I was into the like last set when I realized it. I was like, no, I have all of the cards. It's okay though, because I probably will never have the early set Fables like in cold foil, so I'll never have to fill that slot in. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll just always be blank, just staring at you.
No, I just won't have it there. Because it's not gonna happen. Anyways.
Yeah, so that's what we played. Our main topic this week is TCG Player a monopoly? Is it?
It's a good question.
Now that it has purchased Channel Fireball. Yeah. So TCG Player has purchased Channel Fireball. John, what does that mean?
I don't know. So we've heard some rumors. There's Louis in his podcast gave us even more information. Him and George, I guess, had some conversations with people involved, and it's a little scary. So, and I think even Rudy mentioned it. Apparently, Channel Fireball, I guess it was them, tried to sell off all of the old product, and I think it was in Flesh and Blood in particular. And I don't know the details. It seems like there's a contract that has hurt Channel Fireball, which is kind of ironic with how they ended up handling things, and doing what they did. And maybe it's part of why they did what they did with Monarch, is because they were in a contract that they couldn't actually afford to stay true to.
So they were just trying to get by.
They were trying to play games, to make extra money. And we don't know the details. It's all speculation. Right. I don't know this for fact at all. But it's just one of those things where whatever happened, it put them into a bad financial state, and they sold. And TCG Player picked them up along with this point of sale system, I think.
Binder POS.
Which just helps like organize and sort and inventory stuff for card shops. It sounds like.
Yeah. It helps you have an online store.
Yeah. So I guess that acquisition happened by Channel Fireball maybe a little while ago, and so both of them came in this acquisition. Now, the thing that's scary about it, and this is, I worry what this is going to mean. Well, there's two things. One, there's no other shop marketplace out there that works in the same way as TCG Player. Now, granted, I don't think Channel Fireball was a big competitor.
No, because they weren't before, and then they tried to be, and it didn't work. I had I had some good experiences because I've ordered cards from there, and some were okay, some were like. That's where I ordered the cold foil Winter's Whale from. And it was like not packaged well. And it came bent. I was really mad. But I got 90% of the value back. So I really paid $10 for a bent cold foil Winter's Whale, which is fine. Yeah. And, but then there was another time when Nightfall. Remember when Nightfall was spiky back in the day, before it went back down? So it was spiking up to like 240 or something, and a store on Channel Fireball had it for 200. So I ordered 2 of them, and then 12 days later, they canceled the order. Yeah. And so I reported it, and I was like, hey, what's going on? And then Channel Fireball got back to me and was like, hey, these people are no longer a store.
Yeah, they were
Don't worry about
pretty
it.
serious about it. Yeah, and
So
I've
like,
had
yeah, so I had good, like I had bad experiences, but I thought from a business perspective, they were handled well.
yeah, good customer service.
Yeah.
And I've had good customer service with TCG Player personally, but I've heard stories about people that have struggled with it. Every time I've had a ripoff or a bad situation, I've been taken care of. TCG Player has reached out to me specifically to help take care of things. Like they're like, hey, you sent this "Where's my order" thing a few days ago, and you haven't heard back. Do you want us to act on your behalf? And then,
Yeah,
I've
that's
like
stuff like
they've
that.
reached
Yeah.
out to me specifically. I'm like, wow, that's really great. Now, granted, I'd probably spend more money than your average player on there.
They're like,
So
this guy spends how
I might
much?
be like
We
a
need to
tagged account. Yeah.
we need to keep him happy.
Yeah, so I think that's probably part of it, but I've heard really bad customer service stories, like including something coming from their direct side that showed up in a shipping package that didn't even have the sticky thing removed, so it was clearly unsealed when they sent it.
Oh.
And yeah, like bad. And then the post office even put a signed sticker on it saying this was delivered to us unsealed. And there's nothing in it, and they paid like a bunch of money, like $600 for a cart that showed up like that, and that's from their direct side. That's
oh wow, that's not good.
The system. So yeah, and apparently the customer service like ghosted on that person. Now, granted, that's an internet thing. How many people on the internet do you actually trust? Maybe the next day they got back to them. I mean, there's always these high volume situations. I remember at one point when things were really hot and heavy. There was a lot of, communication delays. Like it took days to get back from certain things. But everything I've ever done has been taken care of. I really like TCG Player, but it scares the crap out of me that they are pretty much the only place to get most card games now. Yeah. So that's going to be MetaZoo. That's as far as like regular, boxes, not like the special eBay box or the Walmart box, etc. Right. MetaZoo. I'm guessing Flesh and Blood. Do you know of any other major carriers that are going to have it? I don't know.
No, I mean you have like your stores that have their online shops, but
yeah, it's
Star City Games. Do they do Flesh and Blood?
That's true. Yeah, Star City is still an option, and you have the smaller but growing ones like Min-Max Games. That's a close comparable, actually. So, yeah, so I think it's fine. I don't think they'll become like a end-all be-all monopoly.
They're the Walmart. They're the Amazon.
Yeah, they're the big player in this.
They're the Amazon. Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that. And again, they've been good to me, so I think it will be okay. But you do have to worry a little bit. They're about to inherit a ton of stock. And
right.
TCG Player doesn't sell directly usually. At least I'm not familiar with them doing so.
Right.
So what are they going to do with all that stock that Channel Fireball had?
Yeah, so I had a question about that. Are you side question. Are you a subscriber, like a TCG Player subscriber?
No, I should be because of the amount I buy, but no, I'm not.
Okay, because I was thinking about that. What if they do like how you have all these different Patreons and different ways to get better deals, right? Way to get around map, way to get around different things. And what if TCG Player added that as a perk and then sold directly?
That would be interesting. I could get behind that, honestly.
So you pay a subscription like you do for a lot of these Patreons, and then you get access to exclusive deals.
Yeah, I mean, they already do, was it like free shipping and then free money back days, Like Friday was one. 10% back for anything you bought on Friday, and I forget if it was sealed or cards or everything, but only if you were a subscriber. So they're clearly trying to build that up. I mean, overall, TCG Player does a really great job at a lot of stuff. There's some things that could be improved, but overall, if you're going to have a dominant player, I'm glad it's TCG Player because they do a lot that's right. Like their card cataloging system, so you can put your collection up easily. Their sales side is actually pretty solid, a little expensive, but still pretty solid. Like it's just overall, there's a lot of good things about it, but and the subscription thing I think is their new model, what they're trying to do next. And they're clearly over the past year or two been experimenting because the different 8% back days, 10% back, 10% back, but only on sealed price. Like they're experimenting, you can tell, and collecting data on what works. So
And every
hopefully
one
that's
of those
good.
like used to crash the site. Like you used to like have to put
Yes.
your stuff in the cart so that like you
When
don't
you
have
could
to
push
click
a button.
around. You just hit
Yeah.
cart and go.
Yeah, and actually, was it Tales of Aria? Okay, so I can't say that this was a true testament story, but it definitely happened to me. So Tales of Aria, you remember how they have their release kits
Hmm.
for Flesh and Blood? I was in Ireland and I was on a boat, but I had signal, so it should have worked fine. And I was sitting there on the boat pushing refresh so hard trying to get the stupid phone to work, and I finally did get it to go. So it did go through even from Ireland on a boat with I guess shoddy signal it was probably the website. I'll be honest, because during that period it was so hot and things would crash all the time because of the amount of demand, like you're saying. So and that was that. I think that was kind of the kit like peak, right? Tales of Aria, everyone wanted all the kits,
Oh
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
mats, all the promo
All the
cards,
mats,
da da
yeah.
da da. Yeah, so it was definitely a thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a monopoly because obviously, and this is what Louis said, eBay is still a major competitor for both singles and sealed product, which I think will maintain the
Yeah,
case for a
and
while. And
they're
eBay's
doing that
improving
whole
their stuff. Yeah,
yeah. So I feel like eBay is more for the higher end collector stuff because they have that. I think it's over $500 that
yeah, it's
it's
certified.
certified.
Yeah.
So if you're buying a
Yep.
card that's worth a lot of money, when it shows up in the mail, you know that it's the card.
And
It's not
it's
a fake. It's not.
yeah, it's not a fake. It's the quality rating. They actually have a scale that they use to base that quality on. So
Yep.
if they say it's light played or mint, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool because that is one thing that I'd say is a weakness for TCG player. Sometimes you're getting stuff and you don't really know. Like people say it's
Everything's
mint.
near mint on TCG Player.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really know. And for older stuff like Magic and whatever, when I go to buy that stuff, there's a big price difference between light played and near mint and
Yeah.
all the rest of them, and you pay that premium and you don't always get what you paid
Right.
for. So and it's blind because they have the ability to post pictures, but it's just not a thing that happens on TCG Player.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. The two are, you're right, they're serving kind of a different dynamic, but they're definitely the big players in the space for the high end. It's interesting. We'll see what happens. I talk about this on the market update. They have these higher end sealed products for Fab on there. No one buys them ever, and I don't know that I would ever buy a $5,000 box of Flesh and Blood from TCG Player. It feels
Right.
too blind, you know.
Right.
Like I don't know how damaged it is, or maybe it's resealed and I can't tell, or there's no pictures.
eBay, there will be pictures. Yeah.
eBay, you get every picture possible plus some, like plus
Yeah.
the person's cat, like it's like what in the world? So you know what you're getting.
Exactly.
And, yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how it plans out. It's definitely going to be a thing. I will say something George said, which I thought was funny and interesting, is that he contacted his store. He's like, we are getting rid of all of these products, and he listed off a bunch of them. I think what it is the unlimited versions,
Yeah.
sealed product, because they probably have a ton, because he always buys a ton of stuff. And
Right.
It sounds like TCG Player inherited like I don't know, 200,000 or 250,000 boxes of unlimited of various sets.
That's a lot of boxes.
It's a lot of boxes. It's too many boxes.
Unlimited might actually just be unlimited, even though it's out of print.
Basically, yeah.
There's still an unlimited amount out there.
Yeah, exactly. So, so those prices are gonna dump probably pretty hard, actually.
Which is probably why
they release it out.
Yeah, and then we have history packs too. So that's coming.
Yeah. That's, I mean.
But I still think that with the amount of Monarch Unlimited out there, and the amount of, so that would be what? Monarch, Tales, and Everfest.
Everfest, yeah, for sure. Those are all in high stock, and I imagine WTR is as well based on pricing.
Right.
Arcane Rising seems like the one exception because.
And Crucible.
No, Crucible is still pretty low. Yeah, unlimited. It's still pretty low. So I don't think it ever hit the point of where it's hard to come by. Arc definitely did at a point. I don't know if that's still true, but the price is still elevated. So I have a feeling Arc is one of those, like, it's just gone, like mostly gone, and it's around, like it's gettable. It's under $100 still, but I don't think you can get more from distributors. I don't think there's a whole lot out to find. But who knows how many they inherited? What if they inherited like a ton of it, and then that price comes back down to like the 60 range where everything else is unlimited.
Yeah,
50 to 60 is kind of like unlimited's price range.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll see. I mean, not that unlimited was ever supposed to be a collector thing. I think we've talked about that many times.
No, but the more it
gets,
don't
invest in it as a collectible for the sake of selling it later.
Absolutely.
Unless you plan on taking a long time to do so.
Yeah.
5 years or whatever. I'm sure all these things will be much less stock.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. Monarch might still be around.
Maybe. Yeah. Monarch Unlimited. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably. And then Tales and Everfest both seem like they were printed pretty heavily too, right?
Yeah.
So, and Everfest still has its unlimited potential release in September, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do that.
I think it's coming.
If they do that,
it's so not bad. Just going to sit there. It's not.
So bad.
I know.
I don't know.
Like, I was thinking, I was like, is there anything in Everfest that I want? I was like,
no.
No. No.
Yeah. I will say history packs have held up better than I thought. I'm not sure why. They're still at like the $100 range. I expected them to drop. I don't track that in my tracker because.
Well, I think yeah. It's.
If you take a look at it.
Yeah.
It's the extra packs, I guess. Keep the value up.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, because it's 36 packs.
36 packs. Yeah.
For sure. So you kind of got to think of it like a box and a half.
100 to everything else being at like 50 to 60, like that's significant.
Yeah, and it's more than a difference than 50% more packs.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, maybe their experimentation between history packs and waves and 2.0 and waves is going to work,
Yeah. Although I'm thinking, well, it'll be interesting to see because you were saying, I caught the little bit of your 2.0 market update where you were saying that Uprising was already below Matt.
Yeah, it keeps going down. It's weird. You get these little moments. Like right now, it's at $80.
Right.
But at that time, it was. I want to say it was like 68. So $12 below Matt.
Yeah.
Which is not allowed right now.
Right.
180 days after release, you can do that, but not right away. And I don't know. I have a feeling that it's going to be fine, and I hope that these waves are thought out well, because frankly, the market is cooled off, right? Like we've talked about this. Economic troubles, all the rest, right? It's a very reasonable situation. And Rudy said this a million times, don't print as much. Cut your prints in half, don't do it. And I think he's dead on that, because the supply of anything with a lot of supply is going to just nuke it in a time where people are worried about their jobs, right? Like just not buying boxes. So if you print for the crazy days of 21, I guess, to 22, you're going to be in trouble. So
I think the first
plan is a good idea. I just don't know if they know how to manage it yet, because it's the first time,
Yeah. And the other thing is, I think a lot of people are collecting what they want and need pretty quickly with 2.0.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I opened a lot, but I pretty much have everything.
Now you're talking from a playable standpoint?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Not like everyone has all their collector pieces.
That's
but like,
the part that I'm finding interesting.
Right, exactly. And which is good for collectors, because now things will probably keep going down. But for players, it's awesome because you're opening a lot more playables in a box, in a case. And even if they're duplicates, they're tradables. So you can trade and get to what you need. Because I've noticed a trend in boxes and cases I've seen online and just from friends, that if you open a legendary, you're more likely to open a cold foil of that same legendary in the same case.
Yeah, I definitely.
And so you're probably trading one away for another legendary that you want. So kind of you're getting, instead of having one legendary, you're trading two. You're getting two per case.
Yeah. Yep.
Or you're getting like a nice Marvel or some other collector piece that a collector would be willing to trade a legendary for.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have such luck, but hey. I did open some legendaries. I remember
Yeah,
the one box.
exactly.
I was like, this was a mediocre box. I'm like, wait, I did get a legendary.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It was a rainbow foil, so I was like, it's not the cold foil. You know me, I want this cold foil.
But if you just got a random box and opened a legendary in any unlimited set, you'd be happy. A rainbow.
Well, and I ended up trading that flame scale furnace to you for a bunch of the collector stuff I did want. You know what I mean? So you're right. Exactly what you're describing happened. So
yeah, and then that pushes down the need for you to keep opening.
Yep.
And you're more likely to then just order the singles.
Yeah, I am curious, which is actually good because if there's a singles market that's sufficient, especially for the higher end stuff, then that motivates box openings because the EV. Yeah,
right.
Like it's a good balancing dynamic that I hope plays out well.
Right, and so there's a big difference between that evaluation and that of typical unlimited, where the box EV is so heavily dominated by the legendary.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't open a legendary, it's just a feel bad box. Yeah. Whereas in Uprising, you have a lot more chances to pull something of value.
Yeah, I've had a few feel bad boxes, but not nearly as many as in Everfest or Unlimited before that in any of those things. So they definitely engineered it a lot better. I think the market dynamics are going to play out nicely. We'll see how it goes with all this, but it is interesting to watch. I am curious what ends up happening with the collectibles. And the other thing to think about is this is a set with only 3 heroes. So this is probably more of what you're describing as a tradable, than a supplemental set might be.
Right.
Just because it's like, oh, I really like Icelander. I need all the Icelander cards. And I really like Fi. I need all the Fi cards. And there's the trade. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Less demand or less spread out demand.
Yeah. Because if this is like Everfest, I mean, I don't know how you handle it. It's just all the majestics you just want.
Yeah. I think it'll be really interesting to see a 2.0 supplemental set.
Yeah.
So Dynasty should be interesting. Yeah. When is that? Soon. August?
No, it's November.
November?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Oof.
Why? Did you think it was sooner?
Yeah. No, wait, I didn't think it would be August. Yeah. Maybe I was thinking September.
No, it's every 4 months, I think, is what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that
November,
makes sense.
I believe it's end of November, and then we'll have another one.
So around Worlds, probably.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. And the timing seems to work well because we'll be post Pro Tour 2.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have that skirmish season happen.
Yep.
And then, is it skirmish or is it
there's a skirmish season 5.
Yeah, I think it's a skirmish, and then it will lead into the supplemental set, which they always seem to be really good for blitzy stuff,
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we'll get some new blitz heroes or some more adult heroes.
I mean, either one's fine by me, honestly. I like blitz as a format with the variety you have. It's kind of fun that there's so many
absolutely
heroes.
Yeah.
So, what's interesting? I think we're finally there where the game is built out to a point where it's like the game they wanted,
Yeah.
Before this, there was always like little bits that were missing, It's just like it hadn't quite gotten there yet, give it a little time, give it a few more sets sort of thing. Now it feels like there's a lot of viability across the board in multiple, directions, and the meta is reflecting that. So I think there's a lot going on that's very positive about the meta and the way it's all playing out, and I hope they can maintain it. I think it will swing off the edge here and there, but I think a lot of these different mechanics that they've changed in 2.0, etc., to make it playable and affordable and all that,
absolutely,
really are helping to have a really healthy situation. Because you don't have to buy just the best deck, you know what I mean, and you don't have to focus on just one thing. It's a lot easier to get into the game, I'd say.
Yeah,
so we'll see though.
And as we get farther away from 2.0, then the cards in the original sets, like the legendaries, aren't as required or have been power crept a bit. We'll see. I think the affordability of the game will become much more stable.
I think history packs is helping that too.
Yeah.
Honestly, despite the fact that we're like, why do we need this? We have plenty of these other boxes. It's because they made the legendaries more reasonably accessible, pushing the prices down. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like a virtual version of what we see in 2.0, where you get the rainbow foil legendary and the cold foil legendary. It's like you get the crappy legendary and the
white
the unlimited / limited legendary from before that. And that just has the population much higher, which reduces the cost. I think. I mean, it seems to be the case. I know there's still a lot of legendaries that are expensive,
but there are affordable options.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of them definitely came down. My poor Arcanite Skullcap I bought right before History Pack came out. Or no, not History Pack. What was it that was releasing? Uprising.
Uprising.
No, Everfest. Everfest came out with
the dull cap.
Dull cap, yeah.
Yeah, and I pulled the dull cap.
Yeah, that made me sad.
Although I do
cut the price in half.
Yeah, I do kind of want a rainbow foil one though. We'll see. Shall see. Yeah, super happy with the Uprising meta. I think just the diversification and what can be played is at an all-time high.
Definitely seems like the healthiest meta since we've been playing.
Yeah. Just a lot of viability and and I think it'll grow even more once Prism leaves.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know how suppressive she is, considering the number of things in the spotlight. So just some quick numbers. It's like the main, I say of the meta, the big, show was Briar, Phi, Viscerai, and Prism. They're kind of the top percentages. And then for the winning the meta game, it's Prism, Viscerai, Briar, and Phi again. Now Prism had the most expansion from that early slice to the actual winning.
Right.
So yeah, she is a powerhouse. Viscerai also had a big expansion in that. As people got knocked out, those two were the ones that grew, and that just indicates they're very strong. But I don't know that Prism holds people back so much, does she? Maybe someone in the comments can tell me why Prism is suppressive. I don't think she is, because if she was, then we wouldn't see what we're seeing. You know what I mean?
No,
she would just be pure dominant. Now, granted, it is early. It's week 1 and 2.
Right, but she's keeping certain decks out.
What, Bravo? I don't know.
Well, Bravo,
who she keep out?
Oldhim, and Dorinthia.
I mean, Oldham's in the meta though.
Yeah,
He's 8% in, and he even won some.
I'm not saying it's a hard. No, yeah, exactly. No, I agree that it's healthy. What I'm saying is other decks can flourish more when Prism is gone.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have a hard time imagining which decks are really held down by her. But
Katsu.
I don't know that Katsu. Phi's in there. Phi's number 4.
I know, because you can't.
That's
play...
what I mean. Like he's up there. He's winning metas.
Yeah, but how many of those games are against Prism?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I tell you.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we don't know that.
We don't know. It's early data.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lots of options. Everyone's in there except my favorite heroes, Iceland.
But that's also what attributes to a healthy meta is every deck has its weaknesses and exactly.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of nothing's breaking free of having no checks.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. I think if Prism goes, maybe Phi does become unchecked because because Viscerai apparently runs quite well against Phi as well. So yeah. We'll see. We'll see as it develops. Either way, we got Prism till August at least, it seems. So.
Yeah. And I mean, she's doing her part in keeping things in check as well. So. She's part of that. Yeah. Anything else on
looks like Viscerai is the most dangerous. He has the most growth expansion through this early 2 weeks, and I really think he's going to be the deck everyone drives towards. I wish those people good luck that think it's the easy deck.
No, it's not. It's not an easy deck.
Easy deck. Those that are like, oh, it's the best deck. I'm going to go make one.
Yeah, good luck. Have fun.
They are going to be sadly surprised by how much it is not an easy deck.
Yeah.
So, best of luck to you.
Yeah.
It's powerful, but it is
Absolutely. Anything else you want to say on the meta?
Nope.
Okay, so we wanted to talk about some TTS updates that have dropped. So there are two pretty big, exciting updates. One for the Grand Archive game. You can now, with their website up and having an index of all the cards, you can build decks and import them directly into Tabletop Simulator. So we can start building decks and not just play with the standard 2. So that's exciting. Definitely going to be hopping in and doing some of that. And MetaZoo as well got a deck importer that was teased, or is getting one. It was teased on the Casters Society Discord. Like, what's this? And then there was a button, and they entered a code, and they imported, and then all their cards popped up in Tabletop Simulator. So that should either be here or coming soon. But the Grand Archive one is what has us the most excited, because
definitely me.
Right now there's...
I never would have thought. Like,
I know, but it's a yes, it is a anime waifu type art style game, but cool. The gameplay is so solid and so much fun.
Yeah.
That it just has me really excited. It has some aspects of Flesh and Blood, like for resources. You use the cards in your hand, but everything's value is the same. It's like you just have to put a card down.
Yeah.
And unless they print cards that somehow change that, but I don't know how, because you put them face down. But then there's the ones where, to do even more powerful things, you risk losing some of those cards because you draw those cards that you pay with back up at the end of your turn.
Yeah, it's a fun resource system, pretty balanced, like you said, Flesh and Blood-esque, and I think all modern games are going to copy that, where a card can do multiple things. That way you're never screwed by waiting for some other type of card. Any game that doesn't do that, I feel like, is behind the times.
Yep.
And so it does that successfully, but I think the thing I like the most is it's another hero battle, but there are monsters like minions on the board, right? So it's not just a hero battle. So that's fun, because then you have a board state to manage, and that's just a given with the game. And on top of that, I think the part I'm most excited about is the heroes are dynamically adjusted by a modifier called, I think, material or something like that. So I can be the wizard, right?
Yeah.
And I can be the fire wizard, or I can be the storm wizard. And it just depends on which piece I put in there. And that can be expanded upon, ad nauseum as they come out with new sets.
Yep.
So it's kind of like if you could choose your talents for your heroes. And the
Absolutely.
Game was made that way for Flesh and Blood. Like, that would be a infinitely more dynamic kind of deck build. Also leads to a lot of potential abuse, and like, we'll see how the balancing thing goes when they release. Like, this may be a terrible mistake, but I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
It is actually
it's ambitious.
The practice that we did. Yeah, definitely ambitious. Pretty amusing. We'll see how it plays. Hopefully Tommy and I can get some gameplay videos out sometime soon.
Gonna have to do some testing and learning, because the game isn't even out yet. This is all brand new stuff.
Oh yeah, our first games are gonna be garbage. That's
yeah. But very excited about it. There's some comic news. There's the new Daredevil came out this past week. You should go pick that up. The new Batman. Go pick up 125. Read that. The new, if you're a Star Wars fan, the new Mandalorian came out. There's some really cool variant covers. It's the first appearance of the Mandalorian and the Child in comic book form.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Disappointing. Well, and you didn't watch our top 5 video.
I did not. I have to pick that up. That's like one of the few comics I would pick up, because I wouldn't mind having a little Grogu on my shelf.
And there's some really cool variant covers. Cool. The disappointing part is it is a limited series, and it is appearing that it's just gonna kind of retell the first season.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, I get that.
I would like
disappointing for you, but I think it's more targeted at people like me that are like, "Oh, I love Grogu. I want a Grogu on my shelf," and that's a way to have it. In a
Grogu T-shirt on right now.
Yep.
But yeah, just some comic news. Wanted to catch people up on some of the stuff that's been going on. And Kenobi. So I finished the series finally, and then I read a Kenobi novel while I was away, and it was a lot of fun. It was like not something we typically talk about, but books. It was a book and it basically was Kenobi as a Western, and it took place before, I'm assuming before the show, because he's still on, like, none of that stuff happened. And introduced some really interesting characters, and had just some really interesting lines, and there was the hello there was in there, and yeah, it was a really fun read, so just wanted to mention it. Might do a video on it. I haven't decided yet, but yeah,
I love the Star Wars universe. It's just like infinite possibility. I feel like Disney's really embracing that, and I'm glad.
Yeah,
because I gotta say, it was one of the things I was worried about. Disneyfication historically was a major thing that would happen. If Disney got a hold of it, it turned into very soft and fluffy,
right,
fun for the whole family, which is fine. There's a purpose and a place for that. But like Star Wars always had like questionable ethics and morals, and like blowing up the what's it called, the Death Star, right?
Yeah.
Like how many innocent contractors were killed? The classic rant from was that Silent Bob and Jay and Silent Bob. Or
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't them. It was the people that were maintaining the store, the clerks.
Yeah.
Store. Yeah. But it's one of those things, like there's always been that questionable morality situation in there. And yes, it is all framed in light and dark and blah blah. But I thought Disney would rid itself of that, and it'd all just be happy-go-lucky stories. And then they came out with was it Rogue
One
Squadron? Or I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
They kept it in there. So I'm very happy with what Disney's done, and I do appreciate the further exploration of the broader universe, because that was always kind of quiet, and only the most nerdy of nerds knew about that.
Right.
So, fun.
Yeah, and so I finished it, and then I instantly ordered another one to keep reading. I Googled, I was like, all right, how do I dive into this deeper? And then found a bunch of recommendations. So yeah, I don't know. And I was reading it before bed, and I was like sleeping like a rock, because I wasn't
like I had a vacation, and it was lovely.
It was glorious. I would go to the beach, I'd bring my book, and I'd read a page and then fall asleep.
Nice.
It was great. It was so much fun.
Great.
But
Cool.
yeah, so content overview. What did we put out this week? We did our 2.0 market update that John's been doing, keeping track of the new Uprising 2.0 stuff specifically.
Yep.
And then there's the regular market updates that he does. 9.1% inflation.
Crazy monthly inflation rate. It's huge, and it's on top of last year's 8.2, I think. So just insane.
Yeah,
we're in very unprecedented economic times with only a few historic comparables, and they aren't perfect comparisons. So you kind of have to make some judgments based on the historic data we have versus what's happening now. It's slightly different. Just it's tough. It's a tough time to navigate financially. So
yeah,
interesting stuff.
So we will have those out again this week, along with our top 5 comics of the week. Maybe some gameplay, maybe some Grand Archive if we can get our stuff together.
Yeah.
But yeah, should be good week. We continue to watch Uprising as things progress.
Yeah, I'm really deep on the meta, keeping an eye on that, and very much enjoying that.
UFOs around the corner. MetaZoo UFO. You done picking up MetaZoo, or are you picking up some UFO?
I might buy a box. That's all I did for Wilderness.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Just to have a box of it. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm not sure. It honestly, it will basically depend on what's coming out at the time. When is that? That's August?
That is end of this. No, it's in like a week or two.
So August? 2 weeks is August.
I know, but I think it's like the end of.
It's the end of July?
Yeah.
Okay. If that's the case, then there's a higher probability.
Yeah, July 29th.
August, then yeah, I'll probably pick up a box.
Yeah.
Just because my whole budgeting for all the Magic sets thing.
Right. Yeah, so that's the other thing is
there's so many coming out.
There's
so many things.
John and I had a discussion before we hopped in. We're both getting a little bit of a Magic itch. which is funny because I haven't had that itch in a while. Don't know how I'm going to scratch that itch. I have some, like, on Arena, I still have some limited tokens, so maybe I'll do some limited there.
I'll tell you what else. You know our buddy that just bought that, was it the set box of Commander Legends? I know people complain about it not being great, and that's fine, but apparently fun draft experience, which is what he wanted to do.
Right, and when are we doing that? Soon?
We never set up a date. You guys have the worst calendar, so
I know.
You have to give us dates. That was the last conversation.
Dang it. Okay. All right, it's on me. Yeah. I'll find that out. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I mean, that is one way. Yeah, exactly. And I just gave it to him last week, so he's set on that and ready to go. And there's also, if you guys want to pitch in, I do have an extra box of Double Masters draft, and that's apparently a freaking blast.
Yeah, I'd be up for that.
Yeah, we'll see though, because that's a little pricey.
Yeah,
I don't mind keeping that on my shelf.
Yeah, understood. That's fair. Maybe we can just. How much are single packs? Are they more expensive per pack than a box?
Yeah, it's all stupid. Everything's stupid right now. It just came out, and there's not enough, and it's high demand. Like,
yeah,
it's super expensive.
But there's another wave coming, right?
No.
That's what I heard. I hear there's a second wave.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
I hear there's a second wave, and it's bigger. They got more than their first wave.
Who? Where did you hear this?
It was George.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Okay.
We'll see. I mean, Rudy was explicitly saying he's called everywhere to try to get more, and
maybe in the quantity that he wants.
Maybe, but he said there's no wave. There's no second wave. Like, he's explicitly said it. So okay. I don't know where George came up with that.
Maybe it's just the distributors. Maybe from the distributors.
Yeah, maybe it's true. Maybe there is another print happening, but I'll take Rudy's opinion over George's. Just generally speaking. Then again, Rudy does flub stuff and, fib a little bit to get hype and all that. So who knows? If it happens and the prices drop, then yeah, let's play some games, because it's supposed to be a really fun draft.
Yeah, I don't think it'll drop prices. I think it will just keep them steady for a little bit.
Well, that's fine. I mean, yeah, because they are already getting out of control.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it would be the first time ever of a Masters product printed the second time. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, got back on the topic just because Magic.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought, we'll do something Magic related. Scratch that itch. Talk about it. I'm really disappointed that those Warhammer Commander decks got pushed back.
Yeah, that's another thing we can do. I have a bunch of. I buy every Commander deck that comes out, so I have all those, and I love sitting down and just playing those. They're fun to just play against each other.
Yeah, it was funny. I was running errands yesterday, and I stopped in a Target, and I always go and look at like the card section just to see what's there. Mm-hmm. And there was a little bit of Pokemon, and just an entire wall of Baldur's Gate in different forms.
Yeah, no, it's not liked. It's not liked.
Yeah. Like no other set. I think there was one Streets of Cabana Commander deck, and then everything else was just.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. The sets have come out and not done well since Kamigawa, and then before that, I think the last set that did well was Modern Horizons 2, which isn't a main set. Yeah. So of the main cycle sets, they haven't done very well. And I guess Commander Legends isn't a main cycle, is it?
Yeah.
It's
no.
Commander.
Yeah. I have a draft box of Modern Horizons too.
Yeah, don't open that.
Why not? Let's draft. Let's go. You're
Just
coming over later, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just don't open that.
But yeah,
it's a good box to have on the shelf.
Absolutely. Anything else? I also have a AFR draft box, I think.
That you can open, because although what's funny, people always poo-pooing how bad all these sets are. They're still going up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Magic.
It's still Magic.
Volume of sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one thing in that one video. Louis was like, he hired someone, or someone was helping him and with his shop, and he's like, I can't believe how much happens with Magic. And it's like, this is a bad Magic set. There's always volume. Like, it will always go up eventually. It will always run out of supply eventually. Like, Magic is pretty stable. This is why I've bought every set this entire time. I've never not bought a set, because it will go up, and then I'll sell it at twice the value 3 years later, whatever it is, like it's just a really easy business model. It keeps it simple.
Yeah.
And then you play the risk game with the new games, right? That's the roll of the dice.
Oh yeah. And Pokemon's the same way. Everything can go up.
Stable. Such a stable. So, anyways, sorry, keep getting back into it. Just because it's fascinating.
That kind of wraps. I don't have anything else.
Nope, me neither.
Cool. Well, don't forget to like, subscribe if you made it this far. I'm sure you already have. We appreciate you. And until later on in the week, we'll catch you guys later.
Have a good one.